complain then, for example, when in the tradition it says, Akhir zaman, you will see sudden death increases. People will have a heart attack, gone. Stroke, gone. They're walking, they fall down, they die. Akhir zaman is that time where you will see an increase in sudden deaths. Why? Because of sins. For every small thing there's a reaction. You get angry at someone. You see, there was a big Ayatollah living in Qom once. He died early. So people asked, they asked some of the ulama, why is it that he died early? One mystic came forward. He said there is a cause and effect for everything. He says the problem was that this Ayatollah, even though that is a mujtahid, but because he had a hard life, one thing that he couldn't control was his temper. Know that if a person can't control their temper, their life decreases because of the causal reality of this. And in the same way, when it comes to your family, if a person cuts the ties of the family, your brother, you're not talking to him. And you see, it's easy for us to preach sometimes, right? You tell them, look, you should have good ties with your mother and your brother and your sisters and all sorts. But when it comes to you, you don't look at it in this direction. You think everybody else should be following the imam and they should be respecting their mothers and fathers and etc. and etc. But when it comes to you, you realize that you forget all of these things. You're fighting with your brothers. You're fighting with your sister. You're fighting with your blood relatives. But go into the hadith and see, your life decreases. When you fight with your relatives. I've seen it within my own life. I'm telling you an experience that I've had. 5 brothers were fighting amongst each other for 20 years. I saw between the age of 50 and 65, all of the brothers had died. All of them had died, heart attack, stroke, this and that. They died in the most miserable ways because each 5 of them were fighting amongst each other. That's a story which has happened in front of me. I'll take you on to another story. You know what happens? A person comes to the Imam. That person is the son of Mutawakkil. He comes to the 10th Imam alayhi salam. He says, my father Mutawakkil has insulted Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. He says that, can I go and kill my father? What is the hukm? The Imam says that this is blasphemy. And the hukm of blasphemy, obviously in those days, was death. So he says, it's death for your father, but you should kill your father. So Mutawakkil's son says, he says, look, can I not kill my father? He says, it's preferred that you don't kill your father. Get somebody else to do it, if you really want to go down that way. He says, but if I was to kill my father, what then? He says, know that there is a causal law. Even though your father is a sinner and wajib al-qatl, but if you were to kill your father, adhab ilahi would come because he's your father. Allah would decrease your life. You know what it says in tradition? He went and killed his father. 6 months later he died. Causal effect. The next time you sin then, the next time you think about sinning, think of the fact that for everything there is a causal effect. And this is why they say that there are 3 levels